Hi there, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Welcome on into our Facebook Live today. It is Wednesday. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think what the date is. It's the 15th, I think. I think so. Yes, it is. It's the 15th. And so, welcome on in halfway through January of 2025. That's just crazy, isn't it? If you're catching this part of the video, you're watching the replay, so welcome on in, replay crew. Love having you here. Be sure to send up a heart, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know that you stopped by, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. I'm really grateful that you guys watch the replay. So many of you do, because I know at 3 o'clock Central Time you may not be able to watch live, but those that can, I appreciate you doing that. So hope some friends can hop in here in just a minute. Looks like that's happening now. Be sure to say hello. We are glad to have you with us. Oliver is here. Oliver the Crafty Pup is with me in the craft room. And we've been busy, y'all. We have had a busy, busy day. It's beautiful outside, but we've been inside today doing a lot of work. We have launch party for this new mini catalog this Saturday. We have after party this Saturday evening. And then next Saturday, the 25th, we have bingo. Beautiful Boca bingo. So we're excited about that. We've been working to get things prepped up and ready because bingo needs to ship this week. Lots going on, but that's what we love. We had team meeting last night, which was fun. Such a great group of stampers and just wonderful people, wonderful ladies in our group. And then tomorrow night, Thursday, we have Paper Pumpkin Club. We have been stamping and lots of crafting this week, so that's awesome. And of course, I want to take a little bit of time to spend with you. So that's what we will do. Now, I have something a little bit different that we're working on today. We're just going to be kind of talking a little bit about when we mass produce, when we make maybe a set of cards. Sometimes they're all the same, sometimes not. I'm using basically the same layout today, so it is really mass producing and using some pretty free paper from Celebration. Let me find it in the little brochure. Oh, I did find it. Bloom Impressions is the designer series paper that we'll be using. So with a $60 purchase through the end of February, you can get this paper free. It's a 12 by 12 paper stack. And so you'll get to see all the designs as we create today. And it's beautiful. It's one of my favorites as far as the designer series paper. So pretty. So everything in this brochure is free gifts with purchase at either a $60 or $120 level. And then we're using a really cool stamp set. Let me find it. It's in the very beginning. I think it's 18. Yes. Very beginning of the catalog. So this is called With You in Mind. And so I have the set right here. A beautiful set. If you know me, you know I love the bright, bold fonts. The nice, bold, pretty script. That just makes me happy. It makes my heart sing. And so I was immediately drawn to this set. It's really cool. And I'm going to just sidestep for a minute to the next page. This happy birthday stamp, it's amazing. We're using it in launch party. And so if you're on the fence about it, if you haven't noticed it yet, I can convince you that you need this stamp because it is so cool. But we'll go back to this one right quick. This is what we're using today. So cute. I went ahead and I'm going to be making a set of thank you cards. So we're going to be using the thank you sentiment. Haven't inked this set up yet, so I have a couple tips for you as far as how to prep your stamp before you use it the first time too. So this is actually a stamp set that was created in partnership with a demonstrator named Julie Davison. If you see this little symbol here, that is the $1 Million Achiever. You can also tell on the spine of the stamp set that it's a $1 Million Achiever stamp set by Julie Davison. I love that when people hit that milestone in their Stampin' Up! Career as demonstrators, they get to go to a retreat at the home office and they get to help design a stamp set. So I love this one. I don't know Julie Davison personally, but I've watched videos that she does. She stamps a lot with her mother, and I just love this. Definitely my aesthetic. So thank you, Julie, for helping to design a really cute stamp set. That's what we're going to use today. And you guys know I've got to pull in my Stylish Shapes dies. I love these dies so much. I always get a lot of questions about where I get my magnet sheets. So let me just say right quick, Dale goes to Home Depot. These are called register covers. They come in a long sheet, and I don't remember exactly how much they cost, but they are inexpensive. He cuts them down. You can see he doesn't cut a big full piece, because you don't really need a big full piece to cover that whole piece of cardstock that these are on, but it just helps to keep them together in their folder. And so I love using Stylish Shapes. I love using these pieces of magnet to help keep my dies all together. We're also pulling in this plaid embossing folder. It carried over from the mini catalog in the fall, the Christmas or holiday catalog. And it is just such a cute embossing folder. I noticed something as I was, because I've already gone ahead and done a little prep work for us. I've gone ahead and embossed these pieces of white. So this was interesting to me. This is an oversized embossing folder. And I didn't realize this was going to work out like it did. But these pieces are cut to 4 by 5 1/4 to layer on the front of our card base. Look at this, y'all. I fit 2 in there, and I had to butt them together, and I had to be really careful that I got them lined up on the part that embosses, but 2 of these fit in here, and I ran 2 at a time. So we're making 6 cards, so that was a little time saver, and that was really cool. And in the process of that, I thought of another tip. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I ran one of these through and kind of left a little bit of a gap. Well, that's one that does have a little bit of a gap. So I may run over and fix that. So you can see, didn't get it lined up exactly like I thought I did. Guess what I'm going to get to do? I'm going to take this back over and I'm going to run it back through the embossing folder, and it's going to fix that. And even if I decided I want to use a different embossing folder, even though this is already dry embossed, I can do it again. So pretty cool. Sorry I missed that when I was taking a look at those, but good tip, I think. Okay, so we have got some things already prepared. I have got 6 pieces of the Designer Series paper at 4 by 3, and we'll just look through these right quick because these are the 6 patterns that come in that paper stack. Really pretty, aren't they? I love them. Okay, let's look at the B side. I think I've shown you this paper before, but it's definitely worth seeing again. Watercolor wash on a couple of the pieces, and then also a little floral, distressed floral pattern on the other pieces. Lots of different colors in this paper, so you can mix and match. I've gone ahead and cut the mat for each piece of Designer Series paper, and I pulled out Melon Mambo, Shy Shamrock, and Blackberry Bliss to mat this paper up with. Then we've got our inside panels. Yep, there's another one. And we've got our card bases. And I grabbed 6 envelopes too. I went ahead and grabbed, oops, sorry, the 3 colors of ink that coordinate with the card bases. So Blackberry Bliss, Shy Shamrock, Melon Mambo. Look at this, y'all. I think this is my last ink pad maybe that is the old style. Remember this? I don't use Melon Mambo very often, and so I still have the old style of ink pad. And it's been years since they changed to this much more sleek, stackable design. I love this design. It doesn't take up as much room, but this ink pad still works just fine. So I thought that was funny. I forgot that I'd had that. I grabbed black too, but I don't think I'm going to need it. So this is just kind of how my brain works when I'm working on something like a set of cards where I'm mass producing. I want to get all of my supplies ready, and then I just want to create and do each step at the same time. Somewhere I have a bone folder. Surely I do. Where'd the bone folder go, Oliver? Let me look over here. There it is. So I went ahead and did top folding cards, which is not what I typically do. I may have to zhuzh that a little bit. I don't think I got my score line just in the exact center. But I went ahead and did these at 11 by 4 1/4. And they'll be top folding cards. We may not get all 6 cards made together, but I will post a picture of the finished cards when I get done this afternoon. I just wanted to make a gift for a friend. And I thought how fun it would be to just go ahead and talk a little bit about mass producing and making sets of cards. I may not have scored this one at all. I did. As we make these. So I also wanted to remind you how awesome it is to gift your cards. And to make a set of cards for someone, I think is just really nice to personalize them like that. I may go ahead and adhere these inside panels next. Let's do that. So as I said, I would do each step. Ooh, that was a lot of glue right there. I would just do each step. And I think that's the most efficient way to use your time when you're mass producing. And this is especially useful, I think, at the holidays when you're making a lot of cards. But I know many of you send out a lot of cards, so it's nice to know if you just want to make a bunch, how to do that. I don't think it's always completely intuitive to us. One of the funniest stories on me, for years, I would cut the paper in half, like either at 4 1/4 to get 2 card bases, or 5 1/2 to get 2 card bases, and then I would score them. And I did that for a couple of years when I became a card maker, and I'm sure it's because whoever showed me how to do that, that's what they did. And then one day, I was watching a video, and I don't remember who it was, but she said score first, and then cut in half, so that you're scoring once and cutting once, instead of cutting once and scoring twice. And it just, that was mind-blowing. So that's what I do now. But it just wasn't what I thought to do initially, because it wasn't what I was taught to do. We pick up tips from each other, don't we? Aren't these colors bright and fun? I love using these brighter colors now. Oh, that's way off. Let me get this one. I'm going to have to work on that card base a little bit. I think I must have scored it at 4 or 4 1/2 instead of 4 1/4 like I intended to. No, 5 1/2. Because that's off. Y'all can see that, right? But we're going to fudge it. We're just going to fudge it a little bit. Because by using my bone folder, I can get a lot of that crease out. So you can see. Or if you just want to put that in your scrap and use it for something else, you can. For some die cutting or something, you can. But I think it's fine. And especially when I put this back panel here, the inside panel, that's going to be fine. Now, one of the things by grabbing all of my supplies where I'm not jumping up and down, I feel like I can be a little bit more efficient with my time too. Okay, so we are going to be placing these pieces on the front of each of these. That's going to be cute. I'm going to have to go back, like I said, and work on this one guy. It's just a little bit wonky. That makes me sad. I thought I had them all fixed, but oh well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces on next. Now, I'm going to use a little bit more glue than you normally see me use, because we do have, oh, this one's like that too. I'm going with it. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It's okay. And let me go ahead and do another one of these. So anyway, a little bit more glue because with the embossing, not all of the fibers of that paper are touching our card base. So we need a little bit more to make sure that it stays put. Last thing you want is your card to fall apart when somebody gets it, right? Okay. So we'll just do one of the Shy Shamrock. It's crazy how much that breaks down the fibers of that cardstock. Of course, I'm just using the basic white for this. But you could use the thick if you wanted to. Thick basic white if you wanted to. You can see this goes pretty quickly when you have your supplies prepped and ready to go. And I like making sets of cards, and I really like gifting my cards. There's a lot of different holders that you can make with designer series paper, cardstock. One of the things that I did, especially when I first started gifting my cards, was just wrap the set with some white tulle and tied a bow. It makes a really pretty presentation. Of course, you can also find, and we used to sell, Stampin' Up! Used to sell some little card boxes, acetate card boxes. I think I probably still have some of those in my stash. But there's lots of different ways that you can package up your cards. Okay, so this is kind of a fun part too, is kind of matching up what we want to pair up with the backing. Definitely, I think that yellow goes good with that. Ooh, this one really would look good with the Blackberry Bliss. What's interesting is so many of them are going to work with so many of the colors. I think we'll go with the green on that one. Maybe this one and those two that way. What do y'all think? I think that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead, add a little glue, and get these matted up. And I really like using pieces of designer series paper that are 4 by 3 and matting them with cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. For one thing, your measurements really lend themselves well to using your supplies, both your cardstock and your DSP. You get a lot with not a lot of scrap. And I just think that's just enough designer series paper to give it a little pop of color. I just think that's pretty. It's a good amount of designer series paper. And you get 12 pieces that are 3 by 4 out of a 12 by 12. And out of a 6 by 6, you're going to get 2 with a little bit of scrap. So just kind of being judicious with our supplies. Okay, we're just moving right along, getting those matted up. Now it looks pretty on the front of the card base, but putting that mat just really makes that paper pop, I think. I like that. And who knew I needed to get my Melon Mambo out and use it a little bit. It's been a while. Well, y'all let me know if you have a favorite celebration item yet. I'm really loving this paper. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to use this side. Oliver's sitting there licking his foot. Hope y'all can't hear that. Sorry if you can. Just real life craft room stuff here. I swear I feed the boy. Okay, so we'll let all of that dry for a moment, and let's do a little bit of stamping. we'll grab our piercing mat. And as I told you earlier, I have not stamped with these stamps yet. So the very first thing we're going to do is get our chamois out. Look at this chamois, y'all. Doesn't it look terrible? No, it's a beautiful chamois. That means I love to stamp and I use my chamois. So we're going to clean our stamps off. Because especially the photopolymer, they have a little residue from the manufacturing process. So to begin with, you want to do that. Now this is a nice bold font. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and ink it up. And let me see if I have, I thought I had a little piece of scrap paper. Let me see what I've got over here. Thought I had some scrap cardstock. Okay. I'm just going to take my check stub out of the envelope. We're going to stamp on this. Because I just need to kind of, what would you call it? Prime my stamp, I think. Because I want to make sure that I'm going to get a good impression when I'm actually stamping my sentiment. So I want to ink it up a couple times, stamp it. Ooh, that looks pretty good. The other thing that you can do is you can use your Versamark ink pad. And you can ink it up with Versamark, which is a clear sticky ink, and then whatever color you plan to use. That looks pretty good, y'all. Okay, we're going to go with that. And you can do that, and then just ink it with your ink, and you'll have a much better image. We learned that using Paper Pumpkin stamps. That really helped get a better impression. Okay, we've just got some circles here. And you know what? I really hope this fits on these circles that I cut. I think it's going to. It's going to be close. Oliver, baby, stop. I need to put my glue up here in the holder before get it stopped up, don't I? Oh, that looks so cute, y'all. So cute. Oops, I hope I stamped it on the right side. I did. So I'm going to do a couple with Blackberry Bliss. And remember to stamp down for about 5 seconds. Let that ink transfer. We'll close this ink pad up and we will clean our sentiment off. And you can see that that's getting stained, and I'm fine with that. I actually like when my photopolymer stamps have a little color to them. They're so much easier to find that way. We'll get a couple more of these blanks. You'll notice I'm not pressing super hard into my ink pad. I'm just tapping and I'm moving around on my ink pad so I can pick up my ink. And when I stamp down, I press 4 or 5 seconds. Straight down, straight up, and you'll be a lot happier with the impression that you get. Because of the way our ink pads store with the pad actually upside down, when you close it, ooh, that one I got over to the side just a little bit. I think we need to do another one. But, you know, it can bring the ink to the surface of the pad, which is what you want. So that's one of the great things about Stampin' Up! Ink pads. You don't have to really press hard into the pad. Okay, that's better. And then we'll close this up and move on to our next color, which is Melon Mambo. It's so weird to have the old style ink pad. It'd been a while since I used one and opened it in that fashion. It's so funny. But you're going to see it still works. And I haven't inked this up in a long time either, but I can tell it's plenty juicy. Don't forget that when you purchase your ink pads, it's a great idea to go ahead and get the re-inker when you purchase it, because like this pad I've had for a long time, many years, and so by having the re-inker, I can just rejuvenate that ink pad and keep it going for a long time. Okay, got that stamping done, so I'll set the stamp over on the chamois. We'll close this guy up. I forgot about how those ink pads used to come apart. That was always a little bit nerve-wracking. Okay, we'll move our ink around a little bit, and let's go ahead. So here's our two. Let me put a little bit more ink, glue under there. That's coming up a bit. Let's go ahead and get our two that have pretty. I may go wonky too. What do y'all think? I know that some of y'all will not like that, and I'm sorry, but I'm thinking I may go a little wonky. And I'm thinking I'm just going to glue that down, and then I'm going to come in with my dimension on my sentiment. I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll do one that's kind of tilted one way, and one that's tilted the other. Of course, you can do them straight up and down if you want to. Just shows a little peek of that embossing. I think that's so cute. Love that embossing folder. And then we can grab some dimensionals. We opened a new package the other night. Here's another new sheet of dimensionals. New year, new dimensionals. All right, we'll get those backings off. And I think I may come right down here. Like that. And what we may do is just go ahead and finish up these Blackberry Bliss, and then I'll post a picture of the rest of them. But you get the idea of the process and kind of how I'll work. So I hope that that gives you some tips and helps out with your process. If you have any questions, of course, you can let me know. And if you have tips for us, please post those in the comments too, because the way I do things is certainly not the only way to do things, right? Absolutely not. It's one of the things I love about like stamp class. You know what? I may come up here with this sentiment. Like in stamp class, and when we do different things like bingo, a lot of times people do alternatives and then they share what they did, and that is just so much fun to me. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit, because like I said, we won't finish them all together, but I will post, and you'll get to see what I'm going to do with that little flower too. Okay, I did pull a couple of ribbons. I've got the Shy Shamrock ribbon. I had a little piece of this laying around. There's also some Daffodil Delight ribbon in the new mini catalog. Now, I think that this is not orderable right at the moment, but it will be back in stock. It's really cute. Skinny little ribbon. I love that. And then I thought this was interesting. I was looking through my embellishment box, and I found these earth tone sparkle gems. And look how well they're going to work with these colors. So that's what I'm going to be putting on to add a little bit of something. So I think maybe I can get a couple bows out of this. I may, we'll see. I may just put some of that Daffodil Delight ribbon on this one that has a little bit of yellow in it, or even the Shy Shamrock ribbon. I think you can kind of mix and match if you want to. Well, I know you can. You can mix and match all you want. And different people are going to have different ideas, which I love. So this was just a little scrap of this ribbon that was thrown in my box, and I thought, we'll use it up if we can. I think I could use this ribbon on pretty much any project. I just love it. It is so, so cute. So we'll do one with the little black and vanilla gingham. Oh, this is a brand new roll of glue dots. I don't remember them taping it like that before. I could be wrong though. So we want to just bring our bow to that. And I think we'll put this one right up here, the top. And then, maybe I'll go with the yellow ribbon for this other one. This is really cute. See if I can get it tied. My fingers don't want to work today, y'all. When I make a bow, I make my loops super big, and then I come back in and work on it. Just what works for me. It's a little bit twisted, but we're going to go with it. And I bring my tails together and snip them together so that they're pretty similar in length. Put that little piece in the trash. Where'd my bow go? Come on, get out of here, little dimensional back. We'll take this bow and put it on a glue dot. I'm going to have to kind of curl it up a little bit with my fingernail because that ribbon is so skinny. It's cute though. Come up there with that bow. And then, like I said, we will add a little bit of sparkle with these earth tone gems. They're really fun. So, that one right there. So that'll give you an idea. I'll work on those other cards, but this is the direction I was going with my set of cards for my friend. Thought that was a super fun little layout, and using the embossing folder. Of course, with your set of cards, you can mix and match your embossing folders, mix and match your colors. There's so many options that you have with this cute layout. And it really does utilize your paper and your cardstock well. Especially when you're getting free celebration paper. That's so much fun. Okay, I think I told you guys about what we've got going on as far as events and everything. Don't have any happy mail to share with you today, but I'm so glad to get to spend a little bit of time with you, and hope that you have some time to do some crafting. And I hope that if you're local to me, I'll be seeing you this weekend at Launch Party and After Party. All right, talk to y'all soon. Thank you.